So, Shedeur gave an interview yesterday. Stephen Vogt going to join us at 8:40. Relax. The Guardians didn't just lose a game and now it's Shedeur Radio. But it is a big story around the NFL. I know what we're going to be accused of, and I'm just going to beat you guys to the punch. All right? We got the manager of the Guardians joining us later on today. There is plenty of Guardians coming up.
And how many Shedeur questions are you going to ask him?
Boy, that'd be a hell of a troll. It'd end my career, but it'd be a hell of a troll. What a way to go. Just asking Stephen Vogt about the third-string quarterback of the Cleveland Browns.
I bet he'd have an opinion.
Would he? Do you think he would?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Shedeur, I got this from CBS Sports here. This is Jordan Dajani. Shedeur said in a radio interview that he's ready to play now. Quote, I know I'm capable of doing better than some current NFL quarterbacks. Am I supposed to get mad at him for having confidence in himself? Am I covering for him? Am I covering for Shedeur if I say something like that?
No, my first thought when I heard that was, he
might not seeing the truth.
He definitely thinks he's better than Flacco right now. That was my thought. Because who's been worse than Flacco? Like, how many quarterbacks have been worse than Flacco?
I don't think he was saying that.
Well,
why was he saying that?
Well, it's logical deduction. Like, he's thinking, you're seeing the quarterback play around the NFL. There's a lot of bad quarterback
around
play.
the NFL.
Well, where has it been worse than Cleveland through 3 weeks?
Around the NFL.
Especially the last 2 weeks. There go. He thinks he's better than Joe Flacco right now. And he could play better and help the team win and have them be better than 1 and 2.
See, now you just blew my mind here. You took it as he was taking a shot at Joe Flacco?
I think he's taking a shot at all the quarterbacks he thinks he could play better than right now.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Is Joe Flacco in that bucket?
Why would he do that? Why are you? Because now you're sowing the seeds of dissension when you say such a thing like that. You need to back that up. Back that up right now.
Okay, well, give me the go if you want to do PFF like Bo Nix. Bo Nix has the worst grade in the NFL through 3 weeks.
Okay,
is he talking about Bo Nix?
Probably.
Even though Bo Nix has gone to the playoffs.
Wouldn't he be talking about young quarterbacks if he's talking about that? I swear to on everything. I swear I never thought that he was talking about his own quarterbacks and his own team. I didn't think he was talking. You can't talk about Dylan Gabriel because he hasn't really played, except for mop-up duty at the very end of the Ravens game. I didn't for a second think he was thinking of Joe Flacco. Now I guess I have to consider it, do I not? Well, do you believe that he could be starting right now for somebody?
No, I do not.
You don't think so at all?
No, just by virtue of, think about it. They've been giving him extra reps at the end of practice to close the gap.
Yes, that
they think there is. So they think there's an obvious gap.
Is he
and
better?
If they think there's an obvious gap between him and even Dylan Gabriel, then no other team.
Is he better than anybody else you've seen play?
I think he has. I think he has some natural talent.
Okay, is that what maybe he's referencing there? Because there's a lot to pick up in an NFL offense, and so yeah, it would make sense to like, okay, Dylan Gabriel, he might be a little bit better off to pick it up. Other guys might be a little bit better off to pick it up, but I'm like, man, I see Spencer Rattler. I'm like, Shedeur can do what Spencer Rattler can do, can he? Is that so wrong? Hey guys, tell me if I'm way off base there. Like I see Spencer Rattler, I'm like, he could go out there and turn the ball over and not really conduct an offense and get blown out, couldn't he? That's not a high bar. I'm not trying to even be mean-spirited to him. Like, I think starting him right now would probably be a massive mistake. And I probably would think, now this is because, I've been in the Browns trenches about this guy since they drafted him in April. But now that I've come out on this side of it, yeah, I think the Browns starting him at this juncture would be a mistake. I think anybody else probably starting him would be a mistake because I don't think it would put him in the best place. If I think it's not putting Dylan Gabriel in the best place possible or that we possibly could get him ready for, and they keep telling me that Shedeur's not ready, then yeah, I'd have to assume that Shedeur would not be ready to start. But still, I do look around the league and I go, I think Shedeur could go out there and conduct himself just as well as I don't think it's a lot. I really don't think it's a lot, but I think he
looking-
can conduct himself as well as some of these guys out there
I'm
who've been
looking
terrible.
at EPA per play. So far, 51 quarterbacks have been charted this year.
All right, give me some names. Give me some names.
Would you like me to start out with number 51?
Yeah.
That would be Joe Flacco. Would you like me to go to number 50? That's Jake Browning. Jake Browning I believe, still has a winning record.
Jake Browning had one bad game. I didn't know Joe Flacco was going to be 51.
All right.
That one got me.
Number 49 is Cam Ward. Number 48 is JJ.
Cam Ward's at 49?
Number 48 is JJ McCarthy. Number 47, Michael Penix. CJ Stroud, 46. He has the
So this is EPA, right?
Yeah, EPA per play.
EPA per play.
So right now it's heavily weighted on turnovers and interceptions, small samples. So that's why Flacco, how many interceptions has Flacco thrown already?
He's thrown a few.
Even though two were not his
I
fault.
know, but still he's thrown a few. He turned the ball over there. Remember, he fumbled. Does that count against him or no?
He's got 4 interceptions.
Because that was technically a drop back where he scrambled. So does that count? I'm not sure how they calculate that part of it.
And Browning has 5 interceptions. That's why they're so low right now. It's going to be dramatically weighted.
See, the Cam Ward thing, I don't know how much Cam Ward has around him, and Cam Ward might be the litmus test. Because, you assume that Cam Ward knows the offense, but I don't trust Brian Callahan.
No.
And hearing
going to be the first coach fired, apparently.
Everything that we're hearing out of Tennessee, I don't think anybody in Tennessee trusts Brian Callahan. And so I'm like, well, the blind's leading a guy who's young and inexperienced, so the blind leads the blind here. But if Cam Ward is that guy, who do you believe is better at conducting an offense? This is not a high bar. Brian Callahan or Kevin Stefanski?
I'd say Stefanski.
So if Kevin Stefanski was in charge of the Tennessee Titans, would Cam Ward be better? So wouldn't that go to stand that you believe so, right? Cam Ward would look a little better.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay. I don't want to go crazy over the first few games.
That's part of what I'm trying to weigh into. See, this is where it becomes convoluted here, and now there's just 1,000 things being said at once. We're still in September. That we're only getting ready for game 4 out of 17. There's still a long season left to go. So you're comparing him, we have to compare him to guys that have not had a great start, and some guys that I think are coming back to the herd a little bit. Some of the young guys that we've been excited about, some of the typical names that we've talked about there, I think we know. But I think that when it comes to other guys, when it comes to the comparison to him, Joe Flacco threw me off there, I got to admit. But the comparison between him and Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick, I don't think he could do just as well as Cam Ward. I think put in that situation, he'd probably find a lot of trouble there. But if he's talking about overall talent, I'd rather give Shedeur Sanders a whirl in Cincinnati than Jake Browning, wouldn't I? Maybe I'm wrong. I know he's won some games. He has won some games, and maybe I'm just maybe I'm looking at it because I want to be I would want to be excited instead of, well, we're just going to try to batten down the hatches as best we can to see what we have. Like, I would expect you with those tight ends and those wide receivers. Running game's running game. But I would expect you with those tight ends and those wide receivers to be able to do something.
Yeah, but with the Bengals.
Because their weapons are better than our weapons. Yeah, at least we think so right now.
You're saying if we were the Browns situation, you'd rather have Shedeur than Jake Browning. But the Bengals wouldn't, right? They'd rather have Browning.
No, I said even if I were the Bengals, I'd probably rather have Shedeur. Because at least I'm seeing something out of this. I don't know what Jake Browning is for the long term. I don't want to base it off just one bad game. He's had a couple of good games, obviously, there.
I'll text Rapine. I imagine.
Well, he'll say Jake Browning.
I imagine Browning because he's been there, Shedeur. He's been in the system, and they've won games with him.
Rapine's an early riser. Maybe he'll answer for you. So, I would rather see him. Name some of the names. Who I'd rather see him than. You have the EPA right in front of you.
Well, I had Michael Penix was another one. I guarantee Shedeur thinks he's better than Michael Penix.
But I tend to make an excuse for Michael Penix because I go the Falcons I don't think are well led.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Bryce Young.
Russell Wilson.
I have no faith in Russell Wilson. I would much rather see him in New York than Russell Wilson.
How about Jaden Daniels, his 43rd?
That's a bit surprising. I would still rather give Jaden Daniels a chance, obviously.
Then Bo Nix, then Tua, then Rattler.
See, I thought of Tua for a second. I've never been a huge Tua guy. Spencer Rattler, I just told you about. Tua's a different animal. Like, Miami might end up being so bad they have to go back to the drawing board this year.
Trevor Lawrence is 36th.
I'm not a Trevor Lawrence guy, but again, they come with better pedigrees. You got a number 6 overall pick and a number 1 overall pick. I would still probably say that those guys are ahead. But if he's saying there's guys in the league you've seen start, there's technically guys in the league that you've seen start that I'd rather have Shadur Sanders have a chance at than a couple of those names there. It's not many, I'll grant you that, but I think it gets back to, when you say the Joe Flacco thing, boy, that's a real big sticky wicket. You understand that, right? If you're implying that from or inferring that from what he's saying, I think that's a pretty big. That turns into an ugly conversation pretty quickly.
You don't think after the last game, Shedeur Sanders and his dad talked on the phone, and he's like, "Did you see Joe?" Remember, famously, Dion singled out Joe Flacco by name during the offseason, right? He's like, Joe Flacco. Like, they couldn't believe that Joe Flacco was still starting quarterback.
Please tell me that.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Because I don't remember that.
I thought we played the audio from his reality show.
If they win on Sunday against the Lions, are you guys going to do 7 in Heaven next week?
I think we got to. Or is that going to be a jinx?
What's a jinx? Well, how do you jinx that? No, hold on now.
The first segment was about jinxing the playoffs.
Don't sit there and try to water it down. You jinx the Guardians. So don't sit there and try to water it down. I know what you do, and I know your tricks, and it ain't going to work with me.
As long as Lima doesn't end up with the microphone with him in the bathroom, it won't be the jinx that I care about. So.
Are we doing 7 in Heaven next week?
I think the people will clamor
if they
for
win.
it.
What do you want to do over there?
Yeah, I think if they win, I think we got to do 7 in Heaven. They are in the playoff picture then.
Okay. Fair enough.
Plus, what do the Chiefs and Ravens do? One of those teams is going to be 1-3 next week.
If you're 2-2 and you do beat
if you're 2-2 and one of those teams is 1-3,
yeah. Now we can do 7 in Heaven, and I might not actually put them in the 7. That's the whole thing of this. But if you're 2-2 and you beat 2 good football teams, Green Bay and Detroit are nothing to fart at. Like, those are good teams.
If we win this game, what am I supposed to be afraid of potentially Carson Wentz leading Minnesota?
No.
Miami? Like now
not
it changes.
Tua.
Now it changes. If your defense does this to, my God, it'll be 3 of the best offenses, and then Baltimore, which you dominated them for a half defensively. If they do this, then this is the best defense in the NFL, and not only am I not afraid of those teams,
look at this. Look at the way this opens up for you real quick. Okay. If you beat Detroit on Sunday, let's just do the what if real quick.
And we're guessing the defense is the huge reason why.
Yeah,
right?
You think so? Well, all right, so this is one of the things I want to ask Daryl, and I got to ask Nathan at 9 o'clock. What can Kevin do to help Joe Flacco see the field? Because I think a lot of it's Joe's not seeing the field. Some people wanted to blame play calling. I go, man, they tried to take shot plays. Isaiah Bond's still standing there by himself in the middle of the field. You had Jerry Jeudy open once. You had Isaiah Bond open once. That's 14 points you just left out there because Joe didn't see the field. He had time to throw, so I don't want to hear any of that. But if you look at the way that this schedule's open up, because schedules are never how they seem at the very beginning of a season. Never in the NFL. You say you beat Detroit, Minnesota. All right, J.J. McCarthy or Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had a hot game. Is he going to have another hot game coming up here? We'll find out maybe with the Steelers coming up on Sunday, right? Okay, Dolphins and New England, kind of up in the air right now. Kind of up in the air. Couple of coaching decisions, Drake May, Jets. Hey, you got a bye week, then you get the Jets. This is not... The 49ers are losing players every single week. Tennessee... I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down if they beat the Detroit Lions. I think that's a great idea. I may have to call in for 7 in Heaven on Tuesday morning if they beat the Detroit Lions. Because you look at this schedule, bud, like this. Buffalo's still on that schedule. The Ravens are still on that schedule. You got the Raiders. The Niners again are hurt, but they're well coached. Pittsburgh's kind of up in the air. Cincinnati, by that time, maybe Joe's back. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, it opens up a little bit. You got to beat Detroit first.
If they win this week,
you're 1-3.
It sounds like Ken's got him at 11-6.
No, I don't got him at 11-6, but I'm just.
But you can't. Even me
starting to get a little bit excited. That's all.
Even me, I can't sit there and discount a dominant defense that has already given you a chance to win every game so far this year. And this was the tough part of the schedule. And if they do it to Detroit, come on. Now you can get a little loopy.
So now you can't make a big deal about Shedeur saying what he said and you can't say it's about Joe, by the way, either, because now you're sowing the seeds of dissension. Because if they beat Detroit, then we're off to the races. Because your defense plays well, your offense is going to have to put up some points. They're scoring 34 points a game in Detroit. So you're going to, this week, I think it really is going to be put up or shut up week. Like, you either do it or you get off the pot here, and we might be talking about Dillon Gabriel Monday morning. I may have to call in about Dillon Gabriel Monday morning and say, hey, you know what? I was wrong about this coming week. I wasn't wrong. I don't think that he should play on Sunday against Detroit unless things are just out of hand. I don't know if he's going to come in and make that big of a difference against Detroit if you're down by 10. Maybe I think it's a consideration. We could ask Daryl, could Dillon take over during the game against the Lions? We'll ask Daryl maybe at 8 o'clock. That's a consideration, but say you do beat the Lions, I don't see you beating the Lions just based on defense. Because some of that stuff, like Green Bay had to do some stupid things to let you in that game. Like Jordan Love had to commit a stupid turnover to let you really back in that football game. Had they not done that, we probably just lose 10-3, and that's the end of the day. And then you're 0-3, and then we're talking about Dillon Gabriel differently. I'll take what I can get, don't get me wrong. But if you win this game on Sunday, then the conversation, like you're trying to imply maybe that Shedeur was thinking about Joe when he said, have you seen some of the guys in the league? I don't want to buy into it. It's not that I can't, it's I don't want to. And there's a very big difference there. I don't want to buy into that. But if you go out and you see Joe on Sunday play terribly against the Lions, then a lot of people are going to remember exactly what you said, and they're going to go, Lyman was right. This guy's terrible. He's lost it. We got to move on. And the next person in line would be Dillon. But then your goals are clearly changing. Your thoughts are clearly changing about this season. Now it's development. See how the rookies play. See what we have in these guys. If you're able to make some sort of a run, great, but you're really not expecting it. But if you go 2-2 to beat the Lions, you can't just play defense and have some big special teams plays anymore. You're going to have to play offense.
That's like Baltimore.
That's a good rush
Eventually
attack.
Baltimore got through.
Yes. Like we talked about balance against Green Bay. They're even better with balance there. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's fantastic. They got maybe the best running back combo in the entire NFL right now in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Now, their offensive line has some problems. Taylor Decker's hurt. They got some injuries across the offensive line, so your front four can get to you. But this is one of my concerns here. You've had a great start to the season. Here I am breaking down the Lions game. This is fun. You've had a great start to the season. It's an attacking front. It's not a gap discipline front. And a team that lines up and runs on you, if you're picking the wrong gaps, that's 6 yards, that's 7 yards. And they'll wear you down. And maybe they don't score 34 points, but if your offense does nothing, then you just lose 21-10. And we are bitching up a storm about Joe Flacco. And I can only defend the veteran stuff, the veterans need veteran stuff. Joe's got the best chance to win. I can only defend that for so long. Like it's, and you can hear it in our voices. It's teetering right now as it is. So now you have to look at it in a different way at 1-3, going, what is our goals here? What are we actually accomplishing here? Your goals and what you're accomplishing are two different things. So I don't want to go nuts and say, you're wrong, Shedeur doesn't mean it. But I also don't want to say Shedeur's a clown for saying it, because you may very well look at this on Sunday and go, guys, Shedeur's right. Shedeur's right. I'd much rather have Dillon, Shedeur than Joe Flacco at this juncture by 4 o'clock on Sunday. Like, this is probably the Waterloo for Joe if he doesn't play well. Because you can only do this for so long. I can only do the veteran thing for so long before I go, guys, I heard Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence does not seem to be thrilled about Jackson Dart taking over as quarterback there, because I think that Dexter Lawrence knows that the rest of the season is going to be up in the air. And now Brian Dable, his coach, is probably going to get fired. That means he's going to have a new defensive coordinator next year with a new head coach, probably maybe a new general manager, Joe Shane. Like, he might be out. Like, there's a lot of change there. Dexter Lawrence sees that on the wall already, and he's not thrilled about it. At 1-2, you still have a chance to go veteran, we're playing for something. At 1-3, at the end of September, when I would say, gosh, I know that the difference between the good teams and the bad teams are a little closer because the quarterback plays so bad in this league. It's so difficult to say it. And if I feel I said that with what I just told you about how this offense has to play to be able to beat Detroit, I think I'd just be lying to myself, and I'd be lying to our listeners.